suppose, a vlog with one small piece of show and tell for, I guess, Christmas gift. Not a haul, because I only actually got one gift. This right here. But I'll get to that in a moment. First, maybe some explanation as to why just one gift. I also have some index cards just so I don't forget the things I wanted to mention. The explanation of the single gift thing actually began a few years ago when I first moved into San Francisco, into this apartment. And I think, as anyone who goes through a move knows, that there's a good deal of boxing, unboxing, etc. And you tend to find a lot of things that you really don't need. And they tend to stay in boxes. They go into closets, into corners, and whatnot. Anyway, after I had been in the apartment for a period of time, my birthday was approaching. And my mother telephoned me, and she said, "What would you like for your birthday?" And I said, I don't really need any more stuff. Anyway, I'm mindful of a George Carlin routine about stuff. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube, so check it out, George Carlin Stuff. He talks about how we have stuff, and when you travel, you take stuff, and, well, anyway. People have too much stuff. So I told my mother, forget about buying me anything. Why don't you and Dad and I just go out for dinner or something like that, and we'll call that my birthday gift. So that's what we did. And a fine time was had by all. Anyway, some months after that, I was walking along and going to the grocery store and considering that my sister's birthday is coming up. I should make a similar phone call and say, "Hey sis, what would you like for your birthday?" And I was going down Fillmore. It's a street here in San Francisco in, well, the Fillmore district. And on my way to the grocery store, and I passed a place called Yoshi's, which is a nightclub and restaurant. Typically, they do jazz, not exclusively, however. And I happened to notice on the calendar in their display window that right about the time of her birthday was going to be George Clinton performing. And we both enjoy Mr. Clinton's music, being very, very funky music. I thought to myself, I should take my sister out and have an evening out as opposed to a gift, much as I had just somewhat recently done with my parents. So I telephoned her, proposed the idea. She thought it was great. We went out, and a good time was had by all. On a interesting, well, maybe interesting to some of you, note, Yoshi's, the restaurant bit is kind of a bit upscale. Just to give you an idea, they have Kobe beef hamburgers. I remember that because that's what she ordered. So, and she let me have a bite, and it's really good. So for those of you who eat meat, Kobe beef, yippee-yi-yay. In any case, announced that I would no longer be exchanging gifts at Christmas time, however, that I would take people out and have events or spend time or something like that. It doesn't happen to happen. It doesn't have to happen exactly around Christmas, but in any case, so for the past couple of years, I don't do gift exchange at Christmas with my family, in that traditional sense of being a present under the tree. It's been pretty successful sort of change. I think most people are happier for it. A word of caution, however, if you are thinking of adopting a similar strategy for gift giving or not, it's actually a lot more expensive to do things with people like events than it is just to go simply buy a little gadget and wrap it up and put it under the tree. Oddly enough, the two people who take fullest advantage of the opportunity of doing events and spending time with me for their gift are my two nieces. Since I don't actually sort of keep a tally, and this has evolved into a thing that goes past Christmas, nobody really wants Christmas presents or birthday presents or anything from Uncle Bill. They would rather do things. So that's cool. So my two nieces, one who is 10 and one who is 20, they tend to like to come stay with me here in San Francisco for the weekend kind of thing. Typically they'll pick 3-day weekends so they can get the most amount of time for their experience, I suppose. Although last year, my youngest niece, who is 10, decided she wanted to see a band called Big Time Rush. I think that's the right name, Big Time Rush. Now I should know I went anyway, so I took her to see Big Time Rush, and it was her very first concert, and, well, she enjoyed it immensely. They're a bit of a boy band. I think they're like on Disney Channel or something like that. I don't really know, but not particularly my cup of tea. But she and all the other 10 to maybe 12 to 14-year-old kids were screaming as if it were the Beatles on Ed Sullivan or something. In any case, brings to mind my first rock concert. Well, my first concert was a rock concert. It was the Monsters of Rock, Days on the Green, back in, I wrote down the date here, I think in 79, which consisted of St. Paradise with Mahogany Rush, followed by AC/DC, then Aerosmith, and then Ted Nugent, which for a guy in his early teens is, well, I was in, I don't know, Kid Rock concert heaven, in any case. Okay, back to the big gift-giving thing. Oh, well, there it is. That's the explanation for why there's only one gift. And the gift actually came from my youngest niece, the one I took to see Big Time Rush, in this cute little bag. Trying to make some decent sounds, I think. Actually, I purposely left it in the bag so that I could do this sort of little show and tell thing. So she's wrapped it in, I don't know if you can see, tissue with little glittery bits in it. And Easter grass. Lovely. Actually, here, Easter grass. I didn't even think about this. ashtray. It's kind of a funny gift because, that's one of those joke things in, well, popular media is the kid makes an ashtray for somebody in art class, which is what she did. And it's pretty cool. And she made it because she knows I smoke, so I could use an ashtray. But she admonished me that I shouldn't smoke. But since I did, she was going to make me an ashtray, which I'm a little torn about because I know she made it for me to be used as an ashtray. But at the same time, I kind of don't want to use it because then it'll get dirty. But I don't know. I'll wrestle with that as it comes up. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, odd side note. She also always admonishes me when she comes to stay with me that I smoke because, well, if she stays with me, I don't smoke in the apartment because she's a kid, secondhand smoke, all of that. But she always makes sure that I don't smoke, that I have to go outside because smoking is bad for me, but it's bad for her too. So there you go. Just imagine a cute little 10-year-old kid shaking her finger at you. Anyway, so there's the ashtray. My one Christmas present. Woohoo! I think that's about it.